Welcome to another rendition of a Ban List Talk, starring the Blue Fat Man. Not in blue today, by the way. It's an ultra rare day in our gacha world of shirts. So today we're going to be discussing September 2020 in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's been a lot of good Yu-Gi-Tuber discussion on this, actually. And by that I mean Farfa, I think, has made the only good video I've seen so far. And I think I've only seen Farfa's video. So let's dig on into this, shall we? Now, disclaimer here. Alright, so we're all under the assumption that because of Crush Card going on around the world here, we're probably not going to get a list. And if we do get a list, it will probably be some stuff to 3. Alright, as you saw in the last list, Konami went, oh, well, we can't hit anything. Oh, we can't hit anything. But we're going to make it look like we gave you a list. So, enjoy your cards to 3. And granted, those cards didn't make much of an impact, but what should be happening here? So, I guess a few people, Farfa, made a good discussion point on this. And I do want to iterate a couple things about that for the ban list here. Number 1, alright? They're not going to acknowledge online platforms. Just because you and me have lived through Emancipator Eldritch format, now you're seeing Dogmatica enter into the fray. There hasn't been an IRL event. Alright, I want to be completely honest with you here. There are things that need to be hit. But because these cards have not had the chance to see play yet, probably not going to happen. Alright, so there's that. Number 2, we do have the remote duel invitationals. Now, we did mention last time that we had the remote duel stuff that happened. We were like, it would be a very far-fetched thing for them to look at the results of these top players in the game playing these and then basing a ban list off of that because, you know, little Josie and little Timmy over here, you know, that just bought these cards and have not had the time to play them at one event, let alone, you know, locals, you know, it wouldn't be a good thing to hit those. Now, Magic's been churning up through their ban list every other day. Like, I think every Monday you see something dead on a list over there. I might be exaggerating on that, but it's about what it seems like from what I see from the community. So, you know, Magic's just churning through bans at this stage. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players seem to be very adamant that Konami isn't going to hit anything from this because there hasn't been one event for that to happen. And, you know, the player base over here, oh, don't tell me that you're not sitting here going, that card needs to be banned, that card needs to be banned. That's a troublesome card. But the reason why you're saying this is because you're drinking from the forbidden knowledge fountain. You're drinking from the Holy Grail. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Online simulators don't exist. I'm telling you guys, alright? You guys must be in some fifth dimension looking head ass. Like, you're over here, you're like, oh, you know too much, alright? We can't ban those cards yet. So, in a perfect world, where we should be getting a list, everybody, I don't know who you are or what you are, if you have one speck of knowledge in this game, you currently know that Linkross is a problem card. The OCG took it out back last ban list for them, and they put it down. And, okay, so downside to this is once you kill Linkross, oops, there goes the Infernoble combo. No, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of Infernoble Knights. The way that the metagame is sitting right now, you have 4 big decks at the dinner table. You literally have Eldritch Emancipator, Dogmatica something, and then you've got, you know, Infernoble. So, like, you have these 4 decks that are clown-carring each other, that are checking each other pretty well, honestly. But the problem here is, what is it? 2 to 3 of these variants all run on the Linkross combo, alright? When you have something as generic as Linkross, you know, clown-carring this with these synchro plays, then you start to see an issue. Like I said, the OCG recently checked this. Things were going about as bad over there as it is here, but once again, because we have no ban list here, you're going to see some really bad side effects from this. Now, Konami's ban list is naturally made as a power checking system. Okay, so we have we're going to use Sky Strike Orcus as an example. So Sky Strike Orcus is just dominating. We ban engage. Deck falls off. The next big boy, ready to be dropped off the plane. Oh, it's here. Oh, would you look at that? The next best deck is here. Now, because we are in a very unique situation right now, if truly Konami is following the mentality of we're not going to hit cards because there's no events. So you have power creep from March back here. All right, so you have the last ban list. You have Adamantipator Eldritch. You're kind of starting to snowball here. Now, because Konami is not hitting cards on a list to sell upcoming product, you're just going to start seeing these big decks power up. Now, that's not a bad thing, honestly. I kind of find it interesting to see that you have 4 very powerful decks in the format here. Now, it just means later on that, come April, come March 2021, when they line these decks up and they take care of them on the next list, you're like, oh, ugh. Like, oh my god, that's the worst ban list I've ever seen. They killed every deck I own. Like, that's so unfair. And it's like, nah, shut your mouth. Alright, like, you knew this was coming. You had a year of power creep lined up. First event back, you're probably going to see the nastiest ban list in the game. So, first problem card that we acknowledge as a community is Linkross. Alright, I get it. Alright. Most people are like, well, you just want to ban Infernoble Knight, Robbie. The deck just came out. No, it's not just that. It's like Synchro Eldritch has been a problem for so long. And then you have the other half of the people over here that are like, well, Robbie, you should ban Halifibrax. He's the problem. And Halifibrax is the second card. Alright, there are 2 cards that everybody's pointing the finger at right now. And the second one is Halifibrax. Like, the ability to special summon a tuner from the deck, the ability to warp up into something else. Yeah, the card is broken for the game. Alright, it makes... I'm always like, Konami's going to slap it around and put it at 1. I get it. Alright, you can't very well put it at 1 because it's going to do the exact same thing. The only thing you're stopping is like 3 dino variants in the game from playing Potted Extrap with it, okay? See, slap on the wrist. We fixed the card, guys. But Halifibrax is a problem. I think the problem here, though, is both cards go in tandem with each other. Linkross is still a very broken card with or without Needle Fiber. I'll be honest with you, but I do think on the upside swing of things here that once we get both of these cards checked, then we just have to go take care of the other problem in the room. Oh, what's the other problem in the room, Robbie? His name is Mr. Golden Lord himself. Now, I don't know what to hit in this deck. I've said before that I think going after Scarlet Zanguine was probably the better call. And honestly, putting Scarlet to 1 might kill the deck. Now, there's the other argument here. This is one's my favorite. Or we could just put the Golden Lord to 1. You don't have to deal with multiple Golden Lords if you Highlander the deck. Think about that. You DD Crow their 1 Golden Lord. Their entire strategy is done. Most decks at this point, I mean, you still see a lot of 3-ofs, but a lot of decks have gone down to 2 Golden Lords. And like at this point, it's like, I mean, I guess you could semi-limit it, but like that's just the slap on the wrist effect. Like, there's no point. And honestly, even like looking at Adamantipator, like, yeah, killing Block Dragon is a great idea, but once Needle Fiber's gone, like, you've lowered their consistency window. You also take away Linkross, you also lowered the consistency window. So, I mean, at that point, like, we fixed... We question mark? We fixed things? I do universally think at this point that the entire axis of problems is revolving around Halifibrax and Linkross. Once we see a removal or a possible check to one of these 2 on a ban list, I could see Linkross going and we just keep Halifibrax. I'm honestly okay with that, but either way, both of these cards are the cards that are warping the format. So, yeah, I know. I know Dogmatica's still here. Yeah, I know Invoked is still sitting over there in the corner, smiling at me. I've made multiple attempts to talk about Invoked, but every time I do, there's always like 6 people that are like, no, it doesn't need to be hit. And I'm like, y'all saying that, and it's literally the best 1-card engine in the game. Literally the best 1-card engine in the game. it's free. So I don't know, man. People are like, no, Rob, you know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Invoked Engine is very worthy of being hit, but that's just my 2 cents for another day. So can't wait for the Magistus Link 1 for that deck. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about what's coming. I know it's a very brief discussion here. We only really covered 2 cards, but there's a lot of logistical stuff happening right now that's literally as important as the ban list, which is kind of interesting. Alright guys, I'm out. Peace. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCall40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCall40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcallgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.